we have a company called FoodLogiQ, uh, which is kind of near and dear to my heart. I won't go into all the backstory, but I co-founded it in 2006. Um, so today we're going to have Brian Cohn, who's a food safety solution engineer, talking about the immediate benefits of traceability technology during a food recall. So that's going to be the presentation this morning. And again, we had a live demo yesterday. We're going to have another one today, so get excited about that. So we're operating without a net. So brave man, Brian. And as a reminder, all these traceability companies are right over there in the kiosk area. So after the session, we have a little bit of a break. So definitely, yeah, wave. There you go. Yeah, so go visit the folks that are over there, and FoodLogiQ has a kiosk there as well. So without further ado, Brian Cohn.
Thanks, Andy. Good morning, everybody. Echo Andy here a little bit, and I hope everyone had a wonderful day yesterday and a good evening last night. And thank you for attending our early morning session. We're proud to have you guys here, and we're proud to have the opportunity to demonstrate our products and platform for you guys today. So without further ado, let's jump right in and talk about what we're doing here today. So as you know, traceability is near and dear to our hearts, right? Within the food industry, we have an enormous responsibility to be able to guide our products from initial ingredients all the way through the supply chain to finished goods. And this is something that touches everyone, touches every aspect of every person and every life along the way of that supply chain. It's not just the end consumer who is affected should something go wrong with the product. It's the folks who work in the restaurants, the folks who deliver the goods, their families, the dock workers at the distribution center, the folks in the field who may be harvesting products. Traceability affects everyone, and it's important. And we have a responsibility as an industry to live up to that enormous challenge and responsibility to protect the lives and the livelihoods of everyone involved within the supply chain. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to actually show you a demonstration of our platform. And I want you guys to kind of think about this from a couple perspectives. So, because we're not all distributors, we're not all CPGs, we're not all restaurant operators. So I kind of want to take this through sort of a this is us type of scenario, if you will. Think about this from the perspective of the CPG manufacturer, from the restaurant operator, and from the retail grocer. My slides aren't moving. It's the great thing about being number one on the stage. Oh, there we go. User error. So, we're going to talk about the humble Roma tomato and its journey through the supply chain from farm all the way to the consumer, to fork, right? And this could really be any product. It doesn't have to necessarily just be a tomato, but this is the example we're going to use because we're in New Orleans, and why not? The great thing about the tomato, it's a great commodity, right? There's 60 million tons of tomatoes harvested and put through the supply chain every single year, and that's increasing. Those numbers are a little bit dated. I'm also an ag major, so from my days at NC State, I'm sure that number has gone up quite a bit. As a consumer, there's certain things we want to know about this tomato, and as a manufacturer and as a retailer, there's certain things we want to know about this tomato. Above all, is it safe, right? Will it make you sick? But now more than ever, consumers, the folks that we cater to, ultimately at the end of the day, want to know, what is this tomato sustainable? Was it ethically harvested? Was it grown 5 miles from my house, or was it grown 5,000 miles from my house? So the part of our responsibility is to get that information to the consumer, to the end user, and to all parties throughout the entire supply chain. Now, again, This is us scenario here. Imagine you're that CPG manufacturer and you are producing a fantastic marinara sauce, right? This marinara is the lifeblood of your CPG company. You have 5 or 6 different SKUs based on this particular product. Tomatoes are it. You have to make sure the product you're getting is the right product every single time. The product spec has to be on point. The delivery of that product has to be on point. Everything has to work with this particular product every single day, every single time. And how do we do that? How do we manage that in a real world scenario? Because, more than ever, we tend to work with co-manufacturing and other facilities around the country to produce our product. How do we develop the consistency of that product, not just the quality of the product, but the safety of the product? Through our system, we can holistically view the entire supply chain. We can manage those co-manufacturers. We can understand product specifications on that product, all happening within real time. So I can, my little self sitting at my desk can see what's happening at several different manufacturing facilities at a single moment. I can take necessary actions and precautions based on the information that we were receiving about a specification audit, about an incident that may be coming in from one of our facilities. And to be able to do that in real time is tremendous. I've been in this industry for a long time. And, over the past 15 years, a lot of what I had to do as an operator in the CPG business was I had to rely on my P&L. I had to rely on legacy static information coming in to make decisions on my product. Are we hitting our numbers? Are we using the right products at the right time with the right ingredients, and we're putting out products that the consumers like and want? Is the product safe? Do I have the COAs? Are my pathogen tests coming back, with a false positive or a confirmed positive for a particular pathogen or something along those lines? With this product that we offer within our suite of tools, we can know that in real time. We can pick up that contextual data and be able to make real-time decisions. So that is extremely important for a CPG manufacturer. If I'm a restaurant operator, if I'm a multi-unit, let's say we're a national pizza chain, right? The tomatoes that I use in my sauce, just like the CPG, are my lifeblood. I have to put out a consistent product every single minute of every single day, 365 days a year. And were something to go wrong, were there to be an inconsistency or, God forbid, an outbreak or something along those lines with that tomato product, with my marinara, with my ingredients, not only am I putting the general public at risk, not only am I putting my employees at risk, but we're causing irreparable harm to our brand, right? And that goes back to the livelihood. A manager in one of my restaurants in Milwaukee who may have nothing to do with this particular incident or an outbreak is just as affected as the manager of the store in which an outbreak or an incident has occurred. Because if the brand suffers, everyone suffers within an organization. And that's a key fact. And we've seen that happen over and over again throughout the years in our industry. And with the advent of social media and the consumer wanting to know more and holding us as industry leaders accountable, again, our responsibility is to be able to provide that accountability not only to the consumers, but to everyone who's involved in the supply chain. And that's an awesome responsibility. And last, in terms of thinking about this from an industry perspective, near and dear to my heart is retail grocery. In retail grocery, we move hundreds of thousands of SKUs in and out of stores every day, in and out of distribution centers, across trucks, onto shelves. And we have an enormous responsibility as a retail grocer to make sure that every product and every supplier of product that goes on the shelf has been vetted. We have documentation. I have their certificates of insurance. I have access to COAs, to third-party audits and assessments of those suppliers. Because if I don't, and I sell a product within my retail store that, again, may be part of a outbreak or some other issue, there's a chemical contaminant or physical contaminant, with that product, it not only hurts the brand of that product, but it hurts the retail stores that sell it, right? Because they're held, in the consumer's mind, they view that, the retail grocer in the same regards they view the company that may have caused the outbreak or the product that's associated with the outbreak. And the responsibility is great on the retailers, probably more so than any other aspect of the industry. The consumer, we've done some case studies over the years, and the consumer expectation to get product off the shelf is 1 to 2 days. I, as a consumer, as John Q. Citizen, expect my grocery store, if there is a recall, to have physically removed that product from the shelf within a day, 2 days at the most. The reality, having been in retail, having worked in that sector, that doesn't happen always. Sometimes it can take several days. Sometimes it can take several weeks to really understand what products are where. As a retailer, I may be aware that there is an issue out there at the operation level, but we may not be able to touch or find or see or feel that product. By the time we confirm that all of our locations have removed it, weeks could have gone by. And every moment that goes by is a moment that we may be putting someone at risk. So to be able to understand where our products are at any given moment, and to be able to initiate a recall in real time and see the response from the store level coming back in real time is what we do. We offer a very powerful suite of tools, and I'm excited to start walking you guys through that. So when we launch into this in just a minute, and we'll be looking at this again sort of as a story, if you will. We're going to look at this as a multi-state outbreak involving Roma tomatoes. And the regulatory authorities have advised us that, we should not eat Roma tomatoes. So we need to pull that product from the shelves, whether that be Roma tomatoes that are part of a CPG product, part of ingredients at a restaurant, or, simply on the shelf at a retailer. At FoodLogiQ, our mission is to map the world's supply chain, to make it safe as possible, and to empower people to make informed decisions about the food that they eat. And that is the power of our platform. As mentioned, we offer 3 distinct products that allow us a 365-degree view, a very holistic view of your supply chain and your suppliers. We offer Manage and Monitor, which allows us to manage our individual suppliers through our SaaS-based platform, through a cloud. Our suppliers have access to a portal where they're able to upload documents. We're able to perform second-party audits, pick up third-party audits, get other contextual documents and information that help us make informed decisions about how we work and interact with the supplier. Additionally, we have Track+Trace. The Track+Trace tool that we employ today is more than just a table of events, more than just shipping and receiving and transformation events laid out in table view. Our Track+Trace tool allows you to perform an investigation of every event that's going through your supply chain at any given moment and put that into a visualization that's interactive, right? Because looking at events on a table and in Excel format, it makes my eyes go cross. And trust me, I have stared at many a spreadsheet. Within our tool, we can view all of this, click on it, touch it, feel it, and really get to understand what drives our supply chain, where our products are, what has happened with that product through its journey. And then finally, we offer recall and response. We offer a very, very powerful recall and response tool that allows the community owner to reach out to locations, whether it's restaurants, manufacturers, distributors, your suppliers, and inform them of a withdrawal from the market. they're able to interact with that in real time, be able to give information about products that they are pulling from the shelf or out of the warehouse. And we're able to see all that information coming back in real time. So again, very powerful. And before we launch the demo, just give you an idea of who we work with and who FoodLogiq works with on a daily basis. We work with some of the largest players in the food space. IPC Subway, from a restaurant perspective, with over, was it like 22,000 restaurant locations, deploys our products to help them manage their supply chain on a daily basis. Whole Foods uses our products to, again, help with recalls and being able to get products off the shelf. CKE and Cava and Buffalo Wild Wings and Tyson, one of the largest CPG manufacturers on earth, is a customer of ours and uses our products to safeguard their supply chain and make sure the products they deliver are in fact safe and effective. So real quick, I'm going to launch into my demo. You guys are going to get to see my password. That's going to be cool. So please feel free to not hack me later. Oh, like that. Clever. It's okay. I was going to change it anyway. We're good to go now. Alrighty, guys. Welcome to FoodLogiq. This is our FoodLogiq Connect dashboard. This is the hub. This is where you come as a user to understand, oh, we don't want to save this. No, never. See what you guys are doing over there. Where you're able to come and understand what is happening in your business at any given moment on any given day. Our system is enormously configurable. So role users within your organization, whether it be somebody in QA, somebody in procurement, somebody in distribution, somebody in development, if you will, can configure their view within the system to do whatever they need to do and to be able to get the information they want to get. As you see on the screen here, we have a variety of widgets. These reports are contextual. We're able to dive in on these reports and understand, documents and supplier information, community news. This information is being pushed out again to all role users within your organization. Your suppliers also have a beautiful portal that looks just like this, where they're able to upload information and be able to provide context. So, as promised, let's take a look at a supplier. I'm just going to click on my suppliers here from my left-hand toolbar. I'm going to pick my friends over here at Big Foods. I'm looking at now a supplier detail page. From the supplier detail page, I can pick up all kinds of information. So if I have a recall or I have an issue with a supplier, as an organization, again, whether I'm CPG, restaurant, or retail, I need to gather as much information as I can about that product or about that supplier as quickly as I possibly can. And as we know in the real world, that's hard to do if we're managing this on spreadsheets and PDF documents and filing cabinets and carrier pigeons and smoke signals. Whatever means of communicating documents you have today, our system makes this much easier. We could come in to our supplier and look at everything that's happening in real time with that supplier. We can look at internal notes on that supplier. We could come in and view audits and assessments on that supplier that we have performed over time. So in case we have to move these records or provide these records to a regulatory agency, we can do so quickly. We can also go back and review and say, hey, did we miss something? What happened here? Additionally, we can come in and view all of the documents that our supplier has given us, and we're able to see where they are in terms of providing documents. So it's more than just a repository of documents. If I need to come in and find a specific document, I can grab that document. I can see what documents may be missing and where that supplier is in the process of uploading current documentation, right? So this is a living, breathing ecosystem for your supplier management, and I can understand what is happening at any given moment. Additionally, I think this is probably one of the most powerful and understated parts of our product is that, yes, Big Foods is my supplier, but who supplies Big Foods? Who is my supplier's supplier? We're able to pick up that information through our tool and understand which sub-suppliers are supplying my supplier. That's a mouthful, right? Say that 3 times fast. Supplier, supplier, supplier. If I want to understand the farm or the packing house that my Roma tomatoes are coming from, I can simply dive into that. I can pick up, all kinds of really great contextual information about those sub-locations, including my gap numbers, my FDA registration numbers, specific commodities, production methods, other configurable attributes. And the great thing about our system, this is not hard coded. So if I want to come in and layer in different attributes, different questions to ask, or that I want to make sure that I am collecting as part of any part of this system, you're able to do so. The administrator is able to do so. You don't have to contact our help desk. Myself or Katie or Andy are not going to answer the phone and say, okay, what do you need? Let me put in a ticket. The administrator can come in and make adjustments. So again, whatever information you want to pick up on your supplier or your supplier's suppliers, you're able to do so. Products within the system. We view products, so if I need to come in and find those Roma tomatoes in my system, I'm able to come in quickly, go through, quickly come in and search from a specific product and get information on that product, a product that's shared with me from a supplier or a product that I may be manufacturing myself. I can quickly come in and get that information from our system. We have very powerful query tools. You search it because I may not actually put it in here. This is a live demo site, folks. But in terms of products, we can come in and we can pick up a lot of information around products, the brand name, description, net contents, all kinds of custom attributes. If there's a case information, we could collect, the weight, the dimensions, the size. We can also input photos on the product to be able to have a visual of what that product is supposed to look like. And again, other information on that product, all stored right here. We can quickly pull out. So I know everything I need to know about my supplier, my supplier's suppliers. I have my full product list of what's going on. I know what attributes about that product are supposed to look like, and I can again touch it and feel it in real time. But the real bread and butter, again, in terms of recall, is to be able to say, okay, great, I know what the product was supposed to be. I know what the supplier is supposed to be doing. What was happening? What went wrong? Where was that product at any given moment? And as promised, this is our track and trace tool. This is our visualization of the supply chain of that Roma tomato. So again, I'm looking at a holistic view of the supply chain. I can see the farm in which this product originated from. I can see the packing house. I can see the manufacturing. I can see the restaurants, and I can see the retail on this product. And again, this is more than just a pretty picture. This is an interactive map that I'm able to click in on, get contextual information of where product was shipped from, when it was shipped from, pick up the particular product name, the G10, the lot number, the quantity that was shipped for each one of those products over a given period of time. And, my favorite part about this entire tool is to be able to say, okay, I found 20 cases of this product. I'm going to select it for withdrawal. Goes up into a withdrawals list. I can simply select it. Now, I selected 20 cases from one location. System's smart enough to go through the entire supply chain and say, hey, who else is affected? Where else has that product been, either as an ingredient or as a finished good product in the supply chain? And it provides that list for me right here. And I can see, oh, wow, I have cases all over the place, in restaurants and distribution facilities, coming from a farm, what have you. From here, I can immediately kick off a withdrawal. Pulls it straight into our withdrawals management tool, where we're able to kick off. I'm not going to walk all the way through this. I have one already prepped for us. but we're able to confirm the product, the location, the communications type. So we can communicate with our suppliers via email, phone call, text message, and to be able to see all this happening in real time. And what that looks like in the real world here, let me just pop this open for you, is a real-time visualization of a recall in action. So I can see on my heat map all affected locations of this recall. I can see how much time has elapsed. So I kicked this recall off about an hour ago. I have a live countdown. I can see affected locations. I can also see locations that have not responded. I can see all of the restaurant locations that were affected off that list, who has and has not responded, as well as my retail. And then also my suppliers, right? So my distribution center, I can see, that they're clearly affected. They haven't responded yet. Along the top, we have very contextual reports of contacts. I'm able to see who has and has not responded, right, from a contact perspective. So we're contacting individual folks to let them know of the recall. I can see in real time who has and has not. Again, I can review which products are being withdrawn down to the batch lot number, and it keeps a running total of how much product has been removed. The great thing about this tool, again, I can come in and look at the individual locations, be able to respond in real time. So if I'm a store, this is the view I would see. I would be text a link, receive an email or a phone call. I would be able to go in, put in the number of cases that are affected, sign off that I have performed a recall, and then submit the recall. And this, again, is updating in real time. So what we end up with in our overview is, now we're at 22% completion over time. So as stores, as distributors, as your key stakeholders within the supply chain are responding back, we're picking that information up live in real time. So again, if you are a manufacturer or you are a retailer or, anyone within the supply chain, this suite of products makes your life a lot easier. You're able to, again, get all this information in real time. We're a fully open API system, so if you're using other solutions within your organization like SAP or another ERP system or a CRM system or other information, we can pull data into the system or export data out of the system, right? It's your data. Do with it what you will. It makes life a lot easier when we're fully open. Andy, we're down to 5 minutes. So, this is a great view of FoodLogiq. We're located right over here by at the front of the Traceability Central here. But we want to take a moment and see if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. We'd love to answer some of those for you, or meet with us one-on-one at our booth. We'd be happy to give a bit more in-depth demonstration of the product or answer questions that you may have. Any questions? Don't be shy. Question right here. Yes, ma'am. Oh, there's a microphone coming.
Hello, I'm
Hi.
Anna from Mexico.
Hi.
I'm work for a manufacturing company, and my question is, what does the farmer has to do to be able to track? And from my company, we have like 2 steps before the farmer.
Yeah.
So how can we trace that to the farm?
Yeah, so everything that we do in terms of traceability is based on GS1 standards, so the GS1 barcoding standards. So we can pick up the GLIN number. So the GLIN lets us know the location of that product. So if we're scanning it, we know what location, because that license plate, that G10 or the GLIN number, lets us know where it came from, and the G10 lets us know what it is. So that's sort of the backbone. But in terms of the supplier being able to get information into the system, one of 2 ways. Either through API coming through a different system you may have, so maybe that information already exists in SAP or in an ERP system. We can bring it in through API, into the system, or you can we can simply push out a supplier dashboard. This gives you a quick view of what a supplier would see. So the supplier would be able to log in. We have automated workflows, which would say, okay, farmer, we need you to upload the crops that you are providing us, the varieties of fruits and vegetables or grains that you're providing the company. That information is then sent to your organization where you're able to review and approve. So the portal allows a two-way communication between the farmer or whoever is responsible for the farmer or farmers to be able to put that information in. Because we understand that, I may be dealing with an aggregator, someone who's sourcing from multiple farms, and if I'm an aggregator, I would just put in those locations into my system, saying, okay, I am receiving produce from these 27 different independent farm locations that are coming in here, and they would have to be able to put in whatever information you want them to put in about those particular farm locations. Yeah. All righty, easy crowd. I like it. Well, thank you guys very much. And again, we're located right over here at the front of the Traceability Center. If you have additional questions, comments, concerns, want to stop by, say hello, please do so.